You do a whole video about a big NBA trade, then Stephen A. Smith goes on national TV and says this.
I am reporting here. Pay no attention to what Phoenix is saying. They want out of Kevin Durant right now.
Wow.
Also, Houston doesn't want Kevin Durant. Ime Udoka may want it, but organizationally, they would prefer a Devin Booker.
Oh my goodness. Now you might hate on Stephen A, but he is legit plugged in. I would not be surprised if that is true. And we will get to all of that, but this started when the Knicks got Mikal Bridges in the 2026 second for Bojan Bogdanovic, 4 picks from the Knicks, a swap, a pick from the Bucks, and a second. That is a superstar package for basically a role player. For years, we thought New York was going to get Joel Embiid or Giannis Antetokounmpo. Nope, it's Mikal Bridges. But this story is deeper and stranger than anyone in New York thinks. Because at the same time, the Nets traded control of 4 picks for just 2 picks, their own. Because the only way this made sense was to get their own picks back. Now, they can suck without Bridges and actually draft good players. So basically, the Nets got their next 2 picks and the Rockets got 4 picks, 3 from Phoenix and 1 from Dallas. Sounds complicated? Well, here's what it means. The Rockets want to win right now. How do we know that? Because they gave up the Nets 2025 first. That thing could have been so valuable. Think about it. The crappy Nets just traded their best player and the Rockets said, yeah, we don't want next year's pick. It could have been number 1 in the best draft in years, potentially Cooper Flagg. The Rockets don't want that? No, because they want to make the biggest trade we have seen in years. But speaking of Houston, it is where I live, and a Houston company called MyFitFoods has been my go-to lately for meals. You might know about my journey in fitness. I am obsessed. MyFitFoods is stocked in my fridge. They are healthy, tasty, and affordable meals cooked fresh every day. Now, I have tried many meal services over the years. MyFitFoods is the best I have ever had, easy. So if you live in Houston, I have a coupon code for 30% off. It's GiveAFit30CK, my initials. If you live in Texas overall or New Orleans, overnight shipping, code GiveAFit20CK. That's 20% off. So use my codes to help the channel and get amazing pre-made meals for your fitness goals, your life goals, whatever. But first, let's make sense of the Knicks deal. They traded 6 firsts for a role player. And I know Mikal is really good, but he's never even been an all-star. Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle are their stars. Bridges is a support guy. So why did they overpay? The first reason is they had to. The Nets and Knicks almost never do trades, so if they're gonna do it, it's gotta be crazy. They have traded 4 times ever, 1978, 81, 82, and 83. That is it. The last time they traded, none of the players on their teams were even born. They're in the same city, you don't wanna help the other team. It's like the Clippers and the Lakers. They hate each other. So why overpay for Bridges? He's a good scorer, but an even better defender. He plays literally every game, which is perfect for Tom Thibodeau, who demands high minutes. Then there's the Villanova connection. Now 4 main Knicks played at Nova. Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Dante DiVincenzo, and Josh Hart. They won championships together. So the chemistry is automatic. And off the court, imagine if Jalen Brunson now agrees to take less money in his prime on his next contract, to stay with his friends. It could happen. And in the era of the second apron, having elite role players is actually key. Just look at the Nuggets. They had Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, but Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon. The Celtics had Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Kristaps Porzingis, Jrue Holiday, Derek White. I think that they had planned on getting Joel Embiid or Giannis, but then after the new CBA, they had to change plans. It's no longer smart to just stack superstars like the Suns or the Clippers. You have to go get a deep team with a star in chemistry. So New York goes all in on OG Anunoby, trading RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickley, and now Mikal Bridges, both elite two-way role players to complement Jalen Brunson. They have to keep OG, obviously, who's a free agent, but now they match up great on Boston with two guys who could defend Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown with shooting and an elite star, Jalen Brunson. So yeah, it was an overpay, but I totally get why they did it. Now for the Rockets. In 2020, they traded James Harden to Brooklyn for a ton of picks. It turned out one of the worst trades in history for the Nets. Harden was gone in 1 year, and after the whole Nets team blew up, they didn't even control their own future. I mean, last year, the Nets sucked with Mikal Bridges, and the Rockets got their pick, which ended up being top 3. So the Nets were like, you know what, screw this. We're gonna take the L, and we're gonna get our own picks back. So they traded 4 valuable picks just to get 2 of their own. The Nets have control now of their 2025 and 2026 draft. Good for them. But why did Houston bail them out? Well, Woj says Houston wants to trade for Kevin Durant, and that becomes far easier if they can return the Suns' picks that they gave up in the Durant deal to the Nets. Suns have said they are keeping Durant for now, but that could change next season. But now, Houston has the picks to make the Suns whole again. But hold up, Woj. Stephen A said that's not true. He says they don't want KD, that maybe Coach Ime Udoka and assistant Royal Ivy want KD. They have a relationship, but the front office in Houston actually wants Devin Booker. And think about it. If the Suns trade KD and decide to blow it up, the Rockets would then be favored to get Book. Why? Because no one else can give the Suns their own picks back. Even if the Jazz or someone say, oh, we can give you more assets for Book, the Rockets say, yeah, we can give you your own future back so you can actually rebuild. It's why the Spurs are favored to get Trae Young. They have the Hawks picks. And if they do decide to trade Trae, they need those picks back. So, like, even if the Lakers offered more for Trae Young, the Spurs have a much better package. But that's not the end of this story. The Rockets may never get KD or Book. The reason is Phoenix could run it back for 1 more year at least. If you listen to their owner, Matt Ishbia, he is dead set on next year, and Houston wants to compete right now. Woj also said the Rockets will just as easily trade these Suns picks somewhere else this offseason to get a different star. Who could that be? I think realistically, Donovan Mitchell, Trae Young if the Spurs don't want him, DeJounte Murray, Brandon Ingram, Lauri Markkanen, Karl Anthony Towns. All of those guys seem available, and the Rockets are just crazy enough to do it, which might actually seem too early, right? I mean, the Rockets just got kind of good. They drafted Amen Thompson, Jabari Smith, Jalen Green the last few years, didn't even make the playoffs, so slow down. But in this era of parity, I totally get it. I mean, we have had 6 different champions the last 6 years. In this era, you can reshape your team and make serious noise. There is no dynasty to go through. It feels like the title is up for grabs for whoever's most aggressive now. Either way, we have had an insane offseason already. JJ Redick is now LeBron's assistant coach. Okay, I'm joking, obviously. JJ should not even be here, because the way his story started, you would never guess he'd be an NBA head coach.